before in our last World Cup. We just saw it now up against each other in the World League. Should be exciting. Gotta get some points here on the board for Fao. That 36% win rate, really not what we expected, as you mentioned before. I think that's not indicative of the skill that Fao has. So hopefully he can start to make a comeback. Again, we're only in week 4. We got 20 weeks, so definitely doable for him to make a comeback, but not exactly the position he wanted to be in at this stage.
Absolutely. I think that he's at the very least, these players want to make it into the regionals. They want to make that cut, even if they don't make the top 12. So, yeah, Fao, again, definitely feeling like, at the minimum, he's got to do that. Orlando with the slightly higher win rate, as we see here. Precision, I think, was pretty similar. Guess time, pretty similar. So, again, pretty similar play styles we'll see from both of these players. Fao is probably a little bit more moving-oriented, moving-inclined than Orlando. So, just like against Strefan, he's going to feel like he really has to win that moving game and get off on the right foot.
Definitely, yeah. You can see that precision stacked up against each other. Orlando's a little bit higher. But we'll take a look at where our players are right now. Orlando is in that 16th slot, very close to that top 12, which is where he wants to be. Fao in 37th, though. Again, as we've mentioned again and again, really not what we expected, and not what he expected, and I don't think it's indicative of the skill he does have. So we'll take a look at how this game goes down, if Fao can make a comeback, if Orlando can hold that good positioning on the world ranking.
Starting in, I'm not sure, I want to say Finland. Looks like Fao's got like a municipality border here, is what this sign will be. Upajoki and Orivesi. So those are probably town names, but they might be quite small. I wouldn't expect him to know them, but it looks like he's probably going to scan for them anyway.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find anything. Going to be pretty small, so we'll take a look. Orlando's been figuring. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I don't mean to interrupt. Yeah, both players figuring that on a rural road like this, they're not likely to get more information than what they have, which is why they decided you're going to stop moving and just look for the towns.
Yeah, so shouldn't see too much here. Players relatively close to each other. Fao a little closer. I was just going to mention how much work Orlando's recently been putting in. Again, recently signed to Imperial Esports, the first GeoGuessr player signed to an org, and has been making a lot of content with them and practicing so much now that he's got that support from an org.
Yeah, again, one of the most improved players in this entire league for sure. It's amazing, even between the regionals and the World Cup, about 6 months apart last year, Orlando made so much progress. I mean, he did finish second at the regionals, but he still felt like kind of maybe average in that player pool in terms of sort of how strong he was. And at the World Cup, he looked like one of the strongest players there. Just amazing improvement. Anyway, we have a Philippines round here. So, I don't know. Yeah, there it is. Nice.
Whoa.
Both players have the town here.
Both have the town. Amazing stuff. There it is. They both got it. Fao opting not to really take the zoom in. Just guessing from farther out. Orlando zooming in, getting right in the town. Really not too much to talk about. Yeah. Go round 3.
Yeah, I got a bit carried away talking about the first round, but yeah, the Philippines, again, you'll get a lot of information generally. City names, province names, that sort of thing. It's one of the easier countries for moving, and both players showing they were very good at using the information that they had. This is Brazil. Now, what you do in Brazil, in urban Brazil, in a moving game, is you just look for an area code. So area codes will narrow down the region quite a lot. Looks like Fao, does he have a 55?
55, I think.
Yep. And that is, I think, Western Rio Grande do Sul, which is where he's guessed. I don't know if Orlando has anything. Well, he may just have found one.
I think he just did. I think he just got that area code, and it might actually have him get a closer guess. It is that western part of the state, as you just mentioned, in Orlando. That's a good deal of damage down to Fao.
Yep. Val maybe was less sure about the specific area code. He knew the state, but maybe wasn't sure if it was the west or the south or the east or whatever, so he kind of just hedged towards the middle, whereas Orlando was a bit more confident. Maybe that home field advantage coming in handy with the area code knowledge.
Would appear we do have a Canada and Fao from the area, recognizing it, but Orlando too, also near Toronto.
I would imagine Fao's going to be quite close. He probably knows what this city says, like South Bruce something. He probably knows what that means.
Yes, he does. Right there on it. Very impressive guess. That's 2,000 points of damage given to Orlando. Fao now takes the lead.
Fao might be the best Canada player in the world. He's certainly one of them. He knows all the... he knows the counties of Ontario. He knows just about everything about Canada, so... If you're in a Canada round against Fao, you should be scared for your life, for sure.
Yeah, I actually do want to note, we had that round RC, basically 5K'd in Canada last game. Fao in the chat did 5K'd as well. Fun fact. We do move on round 5 now. He knows his stuff.
So I think we had a
Germany?
Yeah, I think we had a Bavaria specific kilometer marker, if I'm not mistaken. But Fao may not have seen that. Orlando is in Bavaria. They're both scanning for the towns on this sign. They're looking at the exact same sign, but neither of them sees them.
Yeah, trying to find whatever they can.
I want to say Orlando's right about it being Bavaria, though. We will see.
Fao right on top of the name of the country here.
Yep.
Orlando with a great guess, though.
Oh boy.
Oh, evens it out. We've got a 10-point difference.
Anyone's game here. Again, Fao probably feels like he's the stronger moving player and really feels like he wants to win this. This looks like urban Ireland. Wonder... They're just going to move around, and usually what you do in urban Ireland is just kind of look for a city name because they're written reasonably often. You get a lot of directional signs to other towns, so that's what Fao's going to be looking for.
Possibly some information here. School, and then Fao seeing a sign.
County Kerry, it says. Look, Tralee, County Kerry, I think is what it says on Orlando's screen. Does he know that? No. See, Tralee, you see that in the southwest of Ireland.
Which seems to be where Fao is right now.
He's closer, but now he's getting closer now. I believe it is going to be Tralee, which, again, Orlando just doesn't know the town, which, fair enough, it's not huge, but it's definitely knowable. Oh,
Fao found it last second, and he almost gets right on it from that last second move. You can saw even the time ran out, and he would have gotten a tiny bit closer had he had another second, but that's a lot of damage. Down to Orlando after they were basically even in points. Orlando now on 1,800 health.
It looked like Fao was just trying to triangulate based off a road number, which was weaker info than what Orlando had, but problem is Orlando, I guess, yeah, didn't know the town or didn't know the county and wasn't quite able to make use of the info. So Fao did a great job there capitalizing on that.
Going to round 7 now. We have 4 times damage on what appears to be a Poland round by the looks of it.
Yep.
Got some Polish signs, some Polish bollards, and Polish tree rows.
Yeah, they both enter the same town here. In Poland, you often look for area codes. That is not an area code. I think Rudy might be a town name, but that's probably tiny.
Yeah, I don't know if these players... Oh, they're looking at the same exact sign right now. Is there any information on there that's helpful?
Yeah, Rybnik Stodoli is probably a town, but again, it might be quite small. I don't think either of them knows it, so they're just gonna click middle here.
They click middle, they go next. Orlando is closer. That's good for him in terms of the mental, in terms of staying alive. Fao now under half health as well. They're both in the yellow as we go to the next round.
This game is still really could go either way. Very hard to call.
We are on round 8 now, finally. That's getting really high up there in terms of the multipliers. 4.5 times multi. could be anyone's game, as you just said here, Jake. Let's see what happens. Foul off to the races. Orlando moving a little slower here. We'll see what they can find.
The players, there's an agreement not to fast move, I believe, between all the players. I think it's disabled, so that's why they're moving down the road, but going a little bit more slowly than you might often see. For the information, I would guess that this is maybe Croatia. It looks like neither has much.
Just a lot of sheep, and then a dog. We have a Croatia from Foul. Orlando to follow suit, and they're right on top of each other, actually. Just east of... Yeah, just east of Zadar. And, you know, Foul a little closer with the multis. That's 500 points. It could have been way worse there for either player, even in Croatia. But they guessed very close to each other. Taking us to our round 9. Again, our players only have 10 rounds in each game to prove themselves. That's it. So we're on round 9 here. If we make it to round 10, and we go the distance, whoever has the most health at the end will win this match and will go to no move.
So we have Coast here. We're in Australia. I haven't seen anything that helpful yet.
Wellington Point. Something reserve. I didn't totally read that, but...
Yeah. The plates look red, maybe, on the cars, which is more of a Queensland thing. Which I think is why Orlando is currently looking Queensland.
He's probably trying to find possibly a Wellington on the coast there. Foul in New South Wales here. This is going to be a pretty big difference. 5 times damage. If they stay in these respective... Oh, wow. Really big difference now. Foul opting to go near Melbourne.
This is game, probably, unless it's Sydney.
Wow, and Orlando is on it. The plates paid off. That gives Orlando the round win and the game win on moving. And we go to no move.
Wow. Yeah, Foul looking a little unhappy with himself there. I'm not sure what he saw that made him think it was Victoria, but he did look a little bit surprised when that was wrong. Orlando looked a little surprised as well, to be fair. But yeah, unlucky for Foul. Again, they were quite even for most of that match, but Orlando got really good consistency, picking up a big win in game 1.
Very impressive stuff. We have now moved on to our no moving game. The players get only one 360 panorama, and they can't move up and down the road like they could in the game before. This is all they get. We have a Surabaya quick here from Foul and Orlando to follow. Nothing red helm about. We go round 2.
You saw that diagonally tiled pavement in that round. That is very, very common in and around Surabaya. So most of the time when you see that and you have nothing else, you kind of just go for Surabaya, because that's where that paving is most commonly seen.
Round 2, quick guess in Nigeria from Orlando. Foul follows once again, making very similar guesses.
Yep. Exact same ideas, both players.
Little chip back and forth. Go to round 3.
This is maybe a bit more interesting. Is it France? I think we have that little blue sticker thing on the wooden pole you see there. That is exclusive to France. Nice guess, Orlando. Going Corsica.
I was gonna say Corsica could be a really good guess here. Orlando does it. Very impressive. That is decent damage for round 3. We go to round 4.
Players playing pretty quickly in this no-move game so far. Quicker than I would expect. This is maybe a bit of a trickier round, though.
The speed is impressive, and they're both following each other with it.
I am not sure what we're looking at here. The pole, I mean, it's a round pole. Sun is in pretty much just the west. Wow, it's hard to get much out of this.
Yeah, this is difficult. I mean, wow, we have a Philippines here from Foul.
I could see a high elevation Luzon. That could make sense, but I also thought it could easily be Latin America, yeah.
My first thought would have been Latin America, but I also don't hate this North Luzon idea. It is a round poll that could definitely make sense for Philippines. It could also make sense for Colombia. So we have two different continent guesses here. This is going to be the game. It is Philippines. Fao takes it with 2.5 times damage. He wins. What an insanely difficult round, and what an insanely good guess from Fao.
Super impressive guess from Fao there. Again, like you said, really, really tough round. It's hard to go Philippines there because it feels like that's either going to be the Philippines or it's going to be somewhere in Latin America. So Philippines it's a risk. Because it could have been, I feel like it could have been something like Peru, Brazil, something like that. But if it's Asia, probably just the Philippines is the option. So bold guess from Fao, and it paid off beautifully.
Yeah, it pays off really well. We go on to NMPZ now. NMPZ, no moving, panning, or zooming. One still image. That's all they get. We have a Quebec City here from Orlando. Are we in Canadian territory? This is good for Fao. He's opting for Montreal, actually, here.
Does he know?
Yeah, considering a very
see
specific
the water.
guess.
Again, I would never bet against Fao on a Canada round.
He seems very confident, but Orlando trying to line something up too. Both players could definitely line something up here. It's possible. We'll see what happens. The timer is running out. Nobody being as confident as they were in the no-move game.
Oh, looking for the bridge. He's not sure about it, though.
Both are in Montreal now, though, so it really shouldn't see too many points. But maybe we see an impressive guess. Oh, just about equidistant there. Orlando slightly closer. We go to round 2.
Yep, impressive from both getting Montreal just from that image. But very, very well done.
Seriously impressive. This is the image we get round 2. This is it.
Info? There's a
I think
sign.
there might be some info there on that sign.
Oh, it's Chinese, though, so it'll be hard to use.
Both going to Taiwan,
just
though.
Go mainland Taiwan. I mean, you have a ton of palm trees, which I think is maybe slightly more common south, but I think that's not a very good meta. But good guess from Fao.
Yeah, great guess there. 1.5 times damage, just 170 points down to Orlando's health. Going to round 3. Just gonna say, seems to be possibly a Croatia here. Seems to be some Eastern European architecture there. We do have a round concrete pole, which is quite common in Croatia. General vibe, the look. Fao locks it in quick. Will Orlando follow suit? He does as well. It is just far east. Farthest east, just about the farthest east you can get in Croatia.
Surprisingly hilly for that far east, actually.
Agreed.
Right around the Danube, I guess.
Round 4.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
wow. This is all the players get. Everybody watching at home, this is it. And they even have a blur on this particular
In addition,
point of coverage.
as if they needed less information. I don't mind Italy. I thought the guardrail looked really reasonable for Italy. That is amazing, both players getting the country on that.
Wow. And on top of each other, too. 388 points down to Fao. Orlando now has a bit of a lead, but it's very close.
Such good guesses so far in this NMPZ.
Quick zoom here in Mexico from Fao. Seems pretty confident. Is he gonna just send it in? Orlando, right there in the same area too. So interesting how they guess right on top of each other almost every time, but Orlando a tiny bit closer.
The consistency is just amazing to watch, honestly.
Really shows
so close
why,
every time.
It really shows why these players were 2 of our semi-finalists in this last World Cup here.
Yep.
Amazing
And they
show of
both play
skill.
so well under pressure too, which is it's a good quality to have.
It's one of the things that's brought them so far.
What is this? Is this Southeast Asia? Was it Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand? I'm having a tough time telling.
This is a
So the
difficult
players-
round. I like Indonesia. Wow, both players really considering a lot here. Fao, pretty confident in Indonesia. Orlando has not made a guess yet. I did talk earlier about these ditches being very common in Indonesia and Malaysia.
Yeah.
The side of the road there.
You see them
But-
a lot in like South Kalimantan. Fao is thinking about Kalimantan. Orlando's in Thailand, so this could be major. Now he's in Malaysia. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh wait, this is gonna be big points regardless though. Two different countries, but it is
that's
Indonesia.
So unlucky.
But Orlando ends up being closer in Malaysia. Wow, what a way for that game to end. The NMZ goes to Orlando.